Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito
and Crime. Today, I'm going to do something I haven't done before. So I don't think that I've ever covered a serial killer before. So why do I always say so? That makes me so upset. And I just said it again. You see?
We'll work on it. Work in progress. Okay.
But anyway, first of all, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I think I could be better. It was a long week. Yeah, that was my phone ringing. But anyway, so my week was a little bit hectic, but it's over. So I'm ready for the next week.
Work week. Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday. Yeah. Monday to Friday. But yeah, it's been a little bit crazy. But anyway, so I guess we could just get right into it. That's my stomach. I guess we can get right into it. And I do want to give a trigger warning. I will be talking a lot about sexual abuse. I will be talking a lot about things that maybe will make people uncomfortable. And I understand if you do not want to listen to this. And we'll talk to you in the next one.
Can I go too?
No, bitch. Oh. You have to listen to it. And so we're going to be covering a serial killer. His name is Harvey Glatman. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I think the last name sounds familiar.
Glatman, yeah. Well, maybe when you hear the story, you'll kind of understand where I'm going. And we're going to Los Angeles today. Okay? So if you'd like to come with us, grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started.
So fun, interesting. I don't think we've done anything in Los Angeles, like the city of Los Angeles.
I don't think so either.
No, this is cool. So, by the way, I love Los Angeles. Like if they had the same things they have here in Houston and Los Angeles, I would move there. Like if they had my mother-in-law, my family, then maybe I'll move. But anyway, so fun, interesting, random fact. I found a lot, but I picked a few.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there was going to be a lot.
There's a lot, yeah. So first of all, the first and only solar-powered Ferris wheel is in Los Angeles.
Oh!
Yeah. So it's in Santa Monica Pier, and it's called the Pacific Park. That's where it's at, and it has an ocean view amusement park. It's famous for the ride of the Pacific Ferris wheel, which is solar powered. So it soars 26 meters into the air, and it offers spectacular views of the Southern Californian coastline. The Pacific wheel embodies California's environmentally friendly vibe. We can't relate because oil, here. And it's entirely powered by solar power.
Cool.
Another thing that I also found, because I had to pick because it was a lot. Los Angeles was a part of Mexico for 27 years. After the Mexican War of Independence in 1821, LA became part of Mexico, and it remained Mexican until 1848, when the Mexican-American War ended. Los Angeles, along with California, was brought as a part of a treaty, the Guadalupe Hidalgo and treaty. And actually, Los Angeles is not the original name of Los Angeles. The city was actually called El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora, la Reina de Los Ángeles del Río de Porciúncula.
¿Todo eso?
Yes.
Wow.
So it was like,
I think
El
they
Pueblo
were
de
like,
Nuestra Señora de la Reina.
Well, technically, the name's in there. They just shorten it.
Yeah. The never-ending name translate as the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels on the river of Porciúncula. Cundia? I don't know how to say that. It's Porciuncula. I know Kula's at the end, but that's about it. According to worldwidecitysightseeing.com. That's it.
That's a lot.
That was a lot, but I thought that was cool.
It was interesting.
It was interesting because that's what they're for, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, we will be discussing a serial killer by the name of Harvey Glatman. Now, this girl, hold on. Let me get started. So,
let me just get straight
into it. So, he's known as the Lonely Hearts Killer and also the Glamour Girl Slayer.
Okay.
So, he was born on December the 10th of 1927 to his mother, Ophelia, and his dad, Albert. He's an only child, and he was actually born in the Bronx, New York. So he lived there for a while. His mom was a seamstress. His dad was kind of he would work on houses and that kind of thing.
¿Como carpintero?
Como carpintero, yeah.
Okay.
Y entonces la señora también hacía hats. She was a hat maker. And his mom just, when he was growing up, she was like, something is not right. Like she
With her son,
with
she
her
knew?
son, she knew. So the little boy tenía como 3 años y 3 años y no jugaba con nada. Like she would give him toys and he wouldn't play with them. He'd just be sitting there staring off into space. Or like he didn't really want to make friends. Like he would go to the playground, no jugaba con nadie. He'd
Very
just stand there.
antisocial?
So he was very antisocial. So obviously this is in the 20s. So he could have had something that we know what it is now, but back then they didn't know what it was.
But she just knew que algo no estaba bien con su
Yeah,
hijo.
and so she would take him on play dates y no jugaba con los niños. Yeah. So this kid is about 3 or 4 years old. And she walks in on him one day, and this is when she knew it was really bad. And he had tied a rope or a string. They say string rope in different places. So to a drawer handle. And then the other side was tied to his wee-wee.
I think I have heard, sorry, that part reminded me. I think I've heard of this case already before. Yeah.
So it was tied to his wee-wee. And he was like pushing himself back, kind of like he was masturbating. But
It had to hurt.
yeah. And not only that, he's 3 years old. And how the fuck did he tie that shit around his wee-wee? Like,
Yeah.
you have to make like a knot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was weird. She freaked out, obviously. So she takes him to the doctor and they were like, dude, you need to tell me what's wrong with my kid. He just had a freaking...
So he was doing something
that is not normal. And they said, no.
Well, especially like we were just saying, the times, you know?
Yeah. But at least I thought that Ophelia was a good mom because she at least tried.
Yeah.
Like, and you'll see during this time that she really did try. Like,
To get him help?
To try to get him help, yeah. And so, but the doctor was like, it's normal.
And like you said,
he was
like...
exploring y que no sé
¿En
qué.
qué año nació él?
El 27.
So let's fucking like 30s, like
Yeah.
early in the 30s. 'Cause
Yeah.
What did they know back then about this
so
sort of thing?
the doctor was just like, she would tell the doctor, he's done it multiple times, and it seems like he's enjoying it. For him to be this small and enjoy
like,
that,
and then continue to do it over and over again.
So they told him, no, it's normal.
What?
Just go back home and let him grow out of it.
Live your life.
So they did say at one point that this sounded like it was behavior of a sexually abused kid, but there was no mention of, he never says he was sexually abused.
Even as he grew up?
As he grew up, he never mentions any, or there's no like record of him having been sexually abused. At this point, you'll start seeing that his mom kind of got sick for a little bit, so they sold everything that they had in New York and they moved to Colorado because of the financial situation.
Okay.
And they opened Estela. This was so cool. They opened a stationery store.
Oh, cool.
Girl, you know, if anybody knows me, they know how much I love pens, paper, and bullshit. I love it all. Anyway, so when they moved to Colorado, they put all their money
into the store.
And this was around when Harvey was around 12 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. When they moved, they go into the new place and he started 12. That's a kind of an awkward time to start school at 12, you know? Porque ya cuando estás creciendo, you kind of know your friends. So when he moved to new school. So when he started the school at 12, they started making fun of him. Because if anybody wants to look up Harvey, this fucker was goofy looking, man. I ain't gonna lie. Tenía unos pinches lentonones like grandes. Estaba todo como his teeth were buck kind of tooth. Y luego tenía unas orejononas, bro.
Yeah.
Like así como papalotes. Like they were huge. And so then the kids, what they do?
Make fun of
Make fun of him. They were fucking assholes, right? They would call him chickmunk and they would call him a weasel. And just,
my God.
Yeah, like fucked up shit. So after the teasing and all of that, they noticed that he was kind of like more like away from kids and like he didn't want to talk to anybody, but he was really scared of girls. Like to talk to a girl, he was so deathly scared. Kind of like if he was more of no quería hablar con ellas porque lo que le iban a contestar. I don't know.
He was scared of rejection?
Of rejection, or he just was scared of girls.
Okay.
And so, there I go again. He then started like having an obsession over rope.
Oh.
This is when it starts going downhill.
Like at 12?
At 12.
Okay.
He would very often hang himself in the restroom with the rope around his neck.
What?
And masturbate at the same time. Yeah. Like he did that and his mom walked in on him because she started noticing that there was red marks
around his neck.
So se colgaba la verga y estaba en chinga.
That like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He did that so often to where his parents were like, hey, you need to give me the rope back. Like, you cannot have this rope. So they took all the rope from him. They took him to the doctor again. Because that's not normal. Que un niño se esté ahorcando y que like...
And then by now it's what, like late 30s?
Yeah. So le dice el doctor, ¿sabes qué? That's just normal.
What?
Yeah.
Somebody needs to take this doctor's license away, or he needs to fucking go take the boards or some shit. I don't know what the fuck.
Dijo, ¿sabes qué? That's normal. He's going to grow out of it. I'm like, thinking in my head, bro, se está colgando. Like,
that's not
he's
normal.
Tying his
like,
neck.
if he's doing the other thing, okay, like, I guess that's normal. He's fucking 12. Pero, like, a ver, si tu hijo se estuviera, you doctor, if your son was doing the same shit, you know that shit's not normal.
Normal, dude. Normal. Even the dad tried disciplining him y le decía cosas like, no estés haciendo, like, trying to scare him, you know, que no podías hacer eso y que no, porque un día se va a ahorcar a la verga, which I think it would have been better because of everything else. Anyway, that's mean, but everything else that he did. They gave him some medication.
Okay.
A pill. Se la iba a tomar todos los días. How that was going to help, no sé. Pero le dieron la pill y lo mandaron para su casa.
What was it, like placebo or something?
I don't know. They just gave him that and they didn't really mention what it was. But he didn't care. He still was doing it behind closed doors, and his mom was concerned because estaba ahorcando la chingada.
I mean, yeah, you can see the marks around his neck.
And everything was so hush-hush about everything.
Right.
They were, like you said, in the 30s, 40s, and they were...
That's nothing
things
that you
just started getting weird at home.
Yeah.
Then he started to fantasize about being with women. So he started following women around in this town. So iba y las miraba, y he would start stalking them. He started watching them from far away, and eventually he evolved into breaking into their homes. So se metía a las casas y se robaba cosas.
De
las mujeres. So se robaba, I don't know, a watch, lo que encontraba, coins.
Something small.
Calzones. Mm-hmm. So se llevaba los calzones de la señora, de las muchachas, or
whoever's house he broke into, yeah.
Everything was good, but at one point he did steal a gun from someone's house.
A gun?
A gun. So the next time that he didn't do this one time. He did it like a lot of times. So the next time that he broke into someone's home, he then had someone home, a woman.
Oh, somebody was in there.
Somebody was in there. And he takes her to the room, ties her up to the bed, and with his rope, I hope it was...
He carried it around.
He carried it around. Era su best friend. It was his... ¿Cómo se le llama when you have some security rope?
You know what that kind of reminds me of? Completely side story, but that kid in Ed, and Eddie that would carry plank.
Yeah.
Like a piece of wood.
Pero tenía una smiley face.
Yeah.
The plank.
Pero he had a rope.
También.
How old was he at this time?
He was about 13, 14.
Oh, he was still like...
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this guy evolved quick.
But he's... Damn.
Yeah. So, entonces, lo que pasó fue de que he started grabbing on the girl, like molesting her, like over her clothes, and masturbating at the same time.
What the fuck? And these are older women.
It doesn't really say if the women, were older, maybe like, I don't know, in their 20s, 30s, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So he just walked out and he left. Another small reminder, once again, this boy is only like 14, you know?
Yeah.
And now he's molesting ladies. So he keeps doing it. He keeps breaking into homes, tying them up, and now he's like evolving. Now las está amarrando and he's touching them and masturbating. Mm-hmm. Touching them and masturbating. And he does this most of his teenage years.
Oh, my God.
There's reports at time where he would undress the girls, maybe even like make them take off their clothes. But he never penetrated anybody. Mm-hmm. He never raped them. And at one point he would cuddle them.
Oh.
Yeah. And watch TV with them.
What? While they were tied up?
Yeah. And hug them.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you were saying earlier, les tenía miedo when he was younger. And for some reason, he was doing this because...
It was kind of empowering to him, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. So the women didn't really have a say back then, como dijimos. It's like the women would go and complain or decían algo and it would be like, whatever, you're just a woman. You don't know what you're talking about. That's how it was back then at that time. So at one point it does come to an end. He was caught while trying to enter someone's home and he was 17 at this time. They did take him to into custody and they charged him with robbery. And he had a rope and a gun. And they charged him with sexual assault in first degree. And you're going to be like, okay, he went to jail, bro. That's it. That's going to be chill. No, his mom took him out.
Yeah, I figured.
She paid $2,000 to bail him out. And $2,000 back then?
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And about a month later, he went back into it. So now he was escalating to where the person that he was taking, he was now sexually assaulting. He would take them to secluded areas and he would sexually assault them, but never penetrate them. Once again, he never would rape them, pero he would take their clothes off and all of this stuff. This girl that he did this to contacted authorities immediately. And they're like, okay, they're going to pick him up again.
And this was after his mom took him out. He did it again.
He did it again a month later. It only took him a month. And you're like, dude, they're going to put him in jail this time for a long time. No. They put him in jail.
They don't even do that now. I doubt they did it back then.
And they gave him 1 year. After a year, he came out of jail. And this time he's like, dude, I don't want to go back to jail. So he bought a toy gun that looked real. And he decided that he was going to carry that because he's like, dude, if I carry a real gun, they're going to give me a longer time.
But if I carry a fake gun, if they catch me, they'll be like, it's not even a real gun. Yeah.
At this point, he has a parole officer and he's working with him. And his mom has said, you know what? Go ahead and go back to New York because maybe you need to change the scenery. ¿Verdad? So le dijo que se fuera. You're going to be a better person over there. I don't think that you need to be here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So lo manda. And he does go back and he agarra un trabajo. So he gets a little job. He was really good at fixing things como TVs and radios. And that's what he started doing. He would work as a repair shop and he was really good at taking pictures. So when he was in high school, like he was all into the photography thing. That was pretty much the only thing that he was actually good at. Now his mom, when he's in New York, se le muere el papá back in Colorado. So his mom now is a widow.
Está sola.
And they also got rid of the stationery store and she goes back to work as a hat maker.
Okay. But this was back in Colorado.
Y él está in New York. So she's like, you know what? He needs to get away. Because I'm telling you, like his mom really tried. I mean, she should have left his ass in jail, but whatever. And he got...
How old is he by this point?
When
he's in New York?
He's about 18, 19 years old. Okay. And based on what I read was that he had like 11 jobs.
At the same time?
No, like within a time of 2 years. Porque like nunca se quedaba
en un trabajo. Stay, yeah.
He would work as a repair, like I said. Y luego trabajaba en un butcher. Like he was a meat butcher. Y luego trabajaba, like he was like in random ass shit. He was a truck driver. Like, I don't know. Pero he had like 11 jobs, but he could never keep anything. And at this point, he's starting to be like, you know what? Necesito que encontrar a quien más I'm going to assault. August the 17th of 1946, he decided to go for a little stroll in la noche. And he approaches a man and a woman. It was Thomas and Doris, and they were walking too. They were kind of just going home, whatever. Now, this point is kind of big for Harvey because he had only approached women que estaban solas. But now he approached them, and there was a couple.
And it was a guy.
Yeah. And Harvey was little. Like, he was little petite, little flaquito. Which is stupid. Anyway, so he approaches them y le dice to shut up, que he was going to take their money.
With his fake gun.
With his fake gun. Y luego, with the fake gun, he ties Thomas up with his rope. Porque trae su rope, güey. Y he goes and he takes Doris to an alley y he starts to sexually assault her. And lo que no sabía es que Thomas, he didn't do a very good job with this little tie movement this time. So Thomas se salió. Y se le va y se le echa encima. So he starts fighting him. Y Harvey sacó una knife. And he started stabbing him in the stomach.
Okay.
So he stabbed him 2 times. Thomas falls over and then he gets away.
Yeah.
So he did run away, and at this point, I guess he was shocked that somebody like
Fought back,
and they went to the cops. Thankfully, Thomas was okay. Thomas survived. Everything was good.
Doris okay?
Doris was fine. He was,
I mean, aside from what the fuck happened to her,
yeah.
being sexually assaulted.
So they did find. They went to the store. I mean, to the cops. Y les dijo like, what did he look like, and all of these things. And I mean, they didn't do shit about it. They were just like, okay, whatever. Finally, they find him again because he was doing it again, trying to take another girl. And
was this one by herself?
By herself, porque no está pendejo, porque sabe
he learned his lesson, I guess you could say.
Y luego empezó a molestar la muchacha, started molesting her, and they caught him. So this time, he goes to jail finally.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's in New York. He's in a New York jail. And we're like, good. And they gave him, guess what? 5 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. Pero he's in jail, manita. Mm-hmm. And in New York, apparently he's a model prisoner. Model.
Cuando le conviene.
No, porque ahí no hay girls.
Yeah, pues sí.
Hay puros hombres. So, what is he going to do? Is he going to go molest a little boy? So, they let him out early.
Because he was a model citizen?
Yes, citizen.
Prisoner.
And they released him after only 2 years of being in jail.
And what was going to be his sentence?
5 to 10. Mm-hmm. So, he didn't even get to 5.
Yeah.
And they released him to his mom's custody. La pobre de Ophelia también ha de haber estado bien ya cansada de ese hombre. They released him and they said, hey, you need to be in surveillance with your mom for 5 years.
You need to stay with her.
Stay with her. Uh-huh. So his mom is like, okay.
Like his guardian?
His guardian, yeah.
Even though he's an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Because at this time, he's like in his 20s. Mm-hmm. She was like, oh, he's going to be a great person. He's going to get reformed.
I feel so bad for her.
Yeah, me too. Pobre Ophelia, like, I
and the fact that, like you said, she's been trying since he first showed signs que algo no estaba bien con él, and she's been trying, and I can't imagine having a son that's, out doing those type of things, and
you know that it's wrong, and you want to stop it, but you don't know how.
And you want to help him.
Yeah, she did. She wanted to help him. No.
I mean, pero he was beyond help, obviously.
Yeah. So now he went back to Colorado. While being in Colorado, his mom was worried about him. Like, I think there was even a point, Estela, where they were like trying to see if they would do like surgery on his brain. I think that was a thing back then.
A lobotomy.
Yeah, algo así. Y que to help him, because they really wanted to help him once again. Y well, nothing, pero le dijo la mom, no sabía qué hacer con él. So he said, I'm moving to California.
Oh.
Because he was better, yeah. Se había compuesto. Before the 5 years, se mudó a California.
A lo mejor he had like a reset while he was in prison for that long.
Oh, yeah. No, see, he was...
Oh, Joe. I'm sorry.
Joe. Mm-hmm. He was just model. Mm-hmm. He went to LA because Harvey was good at photographing. Once again, I know that, I mentioned that before. So he's like, dude, LA photographs is perfect.
Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. So se fue because he was like, I'm going to get a job over there. And
he really thought that he was going to be like, okay, I'm going to change my ways and be on the straight and narrow. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So in the late 50s, as we know, everybody wanted to be the next Marilyn Monroe. So this is where we're at. Everybody was in LA. That was a thing. And they wanted to become famous.
Okay. And
so
then?
He set up a studio in his home. And he started advertising himself as a photographer, according to him. Making young ladies, and he was going to make them into a big star. He was going to take pictures of them to become models. And his name was now Johnny Glenn.
Okay.
Pero he's not doing nothing bad, right?
No.
Pero
there's no need to change your name.
To change your name, right? On August 1st of 1957, Harvey gets an inquiry from one of those agencies, de las models. Y it was an aspiring actress. When he got to her apartment, le toca. It was in West Hollywood. And he notices que ella no estaba sola. So there was more people living there. So
she had roommates?
So she had roommates. So when he's in the house getting prepared, whatever, to do, I don't know what.
Took her pictures.
Yeah. There was another picture of another girl there. Y él le dice, who's that? And she said, oh, that's my coworker. That's my roommate, Judy Dull. Judy Dull le dijo. And he's like, oh, okay. So se quedó él con esa mentalidad de que, and she was gorgeous. Judy was 19 years old, beautiful, blonde girl. She looked like a pinup doll, así parecía. So the girl was like, he was giving her a bad vibe. So ella le dijo, no, I'm okay. So se fue el señor. He comes back to the house y busca a Judy.
Okay.
So then whenever he was like, he didn't want to, the girl was like, no, I'm okay. I don't need the job or whatever. He's like, I want her number, her information. So la muchacha le da la information de Judy because Judy needed work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why Judy needed work.
Pero he's hiring them for what? Like to be...
In his magazine.
Oh.
Yeah, to go take pictures to put
Like
them
models.
in their... Yeah, models for his magazine.
Okay.
So entonces ya le dijo él, well, because he contacted the ¿cómo se llama?
The agency.
The agency.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant that the agency contacted him so they could shoot his their models.
No, he contacted the agency because he wanted to get models for his modeling gig.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was so confused.
No, I'm confused. And so lo que pasa con Judy es que she's divorced and she has a 14-month-old baby. Mm-hmm. And she's going through a really nasty battle to get her baby back. Custody. So estaba pasando por eso la muchacha. At this point, Harvey is like, I'm going to pay you this money. And it was like a lot of money. Obviously, no le iba a pagar ni madre porque no tenía dinero. Pero she needed it.
Yeah.
So ella was like, I need that money because the custody hearing is coming up. And I need like
as much
as I can for the court to know that I'm capable of keeping my
child.
Baby.
Yeah.
Y ella le dice, there was reports of them saying que she was kind of iffy about it cuando estaba ahí, pero que she agreed. But the weird thing was que he was supposed to be taking pictures of her like in a certain way, like pinup, pero le dijo wear a sweater and a tight skirt.
Okay.
So that was weird to the girls that were there because they're all models and they're like, who would ask for that? Pero nobody clicked that, right?
Well, you never think that it's going to go that way,
So Judy se va con él y le dice, ¿sabes qué? The place where I was going to use as my studio is not work there. It's under construction. So we're going to have to go somewhere else. And that place is my apartment.
Okay.
But I have a studio there.
Yeah.
Se la lleva. Y le dice que she's going to be in a magazine. And the magazine is called Pulp Fiction. And it's a real magazine. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like a true crime magazine.
Really?
Yeah. And it was a real thing. The magazine was a real thing.
But it wasn't
that he was taking pictures for her. But
right.
Supposedly, according to him, he was. I guess that's before there was podcast about true crime. Yeah. He starts telling her about this magazine y le dice, well, for the magazine, the producer or the editor, ¿verdad? Se le llama editor cuando es magazine, needs you to be under bondage.
Okay.
So he ties her up and gags her.
Mm-hmm. But at this point, I'm sure she's still probably thinking that this is part of the magazine.
Yeah.
Right.
Y le dice, okay, I'm going to take pictures of you tied up and you need to look scared. So ella le hace como que she's scared, you know.
Le hace caso, pues, like he takes his direction.
Takes his direction. Y luego le dice, now I'm going to show you something. Y le enseña la gun. Mm-hmm. The fake gun.
Yeah.
Y she really is scared. And he takes pictures. Now, the sick part about all of this, and I'm going to put this in now because I want everybody to know that these pictures are actually still out there.
Oh, no.
And you can see them because guess what? When all of this happened, the magazine actually posted the pictures.
Published
the pictures. So if you want to, you can.
Like they printed them?
Yes.
In the magazine?
In the magazine. Yes.
Did you see them?
Yes. And you can see the fear in this poor girl. In her face.
See them.
Yes, there's a lot of pictures that he took out there because I'll explain to you. After this, le dice...
Le sacó la gun, pues.
Le sacó la gun. He started taking pictures of her. Y luego le dice... Él dice, because, you know, he did write a book about all of this, or somebody wrote a book about all of this, and a lot of the things that we know, or the reason that we know about the story is because of what he said. Pero él dice, from his words, that she was like, I'm okay with being tied up. I like that. Él dice. That she told him. Pero obviously, who the fuck would say that?
Or who's gonna believe what he says?
Yeah, nobody. So he rapes her. Sexually assaults her for hours. Not just one time. Hours. Y luego, he picks her up y la pone en el sofa. And he cuddles with her.
And she's still tied up?
She's still tied up. Cuddles with her. Mm-hmm. Y they watch TV.
Well, I'm sure he watches TV. I don't think she was watching TV. He
did promise her que le va a soltar. But no le va a soltar. Mm-hmm. And le dijo, ¿sabes qué? Let's drive let's drive away. And when we get over there, I'll let you go and I'll give you money for the bus. Hasta eso, le iba a dar dinero. So he puts her in his car.
Let's take a quick break.
Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser, taser, taser! He's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired, shots fired.
Stay down, you gotta go on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
And
Wait, actually, and not like the trunk, right?
No.
Oh,
like in the back of the car.
Okay.
And Judy noticed that he was going the opposite way.
Where he was supposed
Supposed to drop her off. He drove about 100 miles.
Damn.
Going towards San Diego, going towards that way. And there was a desert area. When he got there, he ordered her to get off. And he says that, well, it's known that he orders her to get off. He takes more pictures of her. He puts a rope around her neck and he actually put his knee behind her back.
Oh my God.
And that took a while for her to die. Because
So she was facing down?
she was facing away from him. Yeah, he's going like this.
Yeah, but she was facing
down. Yeah,
on the floor.
on the floor. La tenía. Mind you, he took pictures of her. He did rape her when they got there again, and then he took pictures of her, and then took pictures of her nude, and then take pictures of her being dead.
Wow.
After that, he takes one of her shoes, picks up everything que traía ella. He actually, some sources said that he just left her there. Some sources say que le echó sand. Pero no creas que la trató de esconder ni nada. Nada más le echó sand así por encima.
¿Cómo se llama?
Él se llama Harvey Glatman.
Harvey. I put Henry.
And se va. La deja allí. And on the way back home empieza a tirar las cosas.
He looked like a little bitch.
He's a little bitch.
Anyway, I just pulled up his picture.
Yeah. ¿Ya le miras las orejotas?
Yeah, parece Dumbo.
Estúpido.
No, that's an insult to Dumbo. He's so
Yeah,
cute.
Dumbo's cute.
Yeah.
Don't say that. At this point, we are where he's back home. And Judy's family is like going crazy. Because,
She was supposed to, you were saying, she had that court hearing.
Yes, exactly. So then her husband is going crazy looking for her ex-husband, perdón. Y her friends, they contacted him immediately. They gave him the information del guy que la había recogido. And the number that he gave was a mechanic's place.
It wasn't his, pues.
Yeah.
Or like you were saying, I guess it seems like if even her ex was looking for her, that at least he knew that something must have been wrong because she wouldn't just not show up when it came to something regarding their child.
Their child, yeah. So he was for hours. It was so sad. And the police even at one point thought that he had done something to her. But he was at work and at the time. Y además de eso, he was devastated.
Yeah.
Like, como quiera, he had love for her. I don't know if maybe they still loved each other. I don't know. So then they also said she was a runaway. So the LAPD said that they couldn't find her, basically. They looked for her for like a week maximum, seriously. And this is when they were like, at this point, we're looking for a dead body because she did not show up for the hearing for her daughter.
And then the number that they called wasn't even the number of the guy that, it wasn't real.
They were like, okay, now we're looking for a body, but there's other cases that are more important. So So they stopped looking for her. And the case went cold. Now, he took a break for like 5 months from doing, or like 7 months more or less. They did eventually find Judy's body. I'm just going to say what happened. They found her about 5 months after he had done this to her. And she was found by someone that was just walking their dog. Y la encontró. He didn't even do a good job, like I said, of nada más le echó como sand encima. And they found her belongings and one of her shoes because the other one he had. But that took about a year for them to know that it was her. Porque when they found her, she was decomposed and there was nothing but bones. They tried to do an autopsy, but come on, we're talking about the 50s at this point. And so they did let the people know. But it took a year to find out that it was her.
Identify her.
Yeah, to identify her. So because Harvey was like, oh shit, I need to calm down porque pues lo van a encontrar
And
or
this
whatever.
was his first kill that we know
His
of?
first kill, yeah. I'll talk about that a little bit in probably later. And he took a break for about 7 months. Eventually, he did start doing again. So he went back to work at his little TV repair shit.
Okay.
And at this point, he's getting paid double the minimum wage, bro. Like he was making money.
He was making $8?
Probably like 3. And eventually he gets fired from his job. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to go back to Denver porque pues la mamá le daba todo. So he goes back to Denver. And while he's in Denver, there's not really much to say what happened while he's back in Denver.
So we don't know.
We don't know. Pero when he came home, se compró un bungalow.
When he came home.
He came back to California, se compró un bungalow. Porque lo corrieron del otro apartment y lo corrieron del trabajo. So he came back. He had enough money to buy himself a little apartment. He had his own dark room. So that's where he was developing the pictures. And in the pictures, todo lo que he would keep, tenía una box y ahí iba metiendo el zapato de la muchacha, the pictures that he took of her and all those things were in this box. At this point, he started saying, he started getting the urge again. And he needed a model otra vez, but he changed a little bit of what he was going to do porque dijo, I can't just go back to doing that because that just happened with the other girl. So he went to, he was going to start doing a dating site. The dating site se llamaba Lonely Hearts.
Okay.
Sí. So pagabas $10, which back then $10 was quite a bit, right? Y cuando pagaba los $10, te dejaban que, pues, you would talk to girls or whatever. He found a girl that he started dating or talking to. Ella se llamaba Miss Shirley Ann Bridgeford. She was a 24-year-old mother of 2. And Ricky, uno se llamaba Billy, el otro se llamaba Ricky. Like, eran 2 boys. And she had been divorced for about 3 years already. And she was doing her best. I mean, she was a single mom, whatever. And I don't know why, like, it kind of gets a little bit confusing here because they're talking about how he picked her up from her home. Y she was kind of worried because nunca lo había conocido. So estaba su mamá y sus niños y su hermana cuando él la recogió. And he met them. Los pasó y los conoció y todo. Y le dijo, oh, we're going to go square dancing tonight. So se la llevó square dancing. But when he picked her up, he's like, oh, you know what? I have a change of plans. Le dice, we're not going to go square dancing. We're going to go see the sunset.
Okay.
So se la llevó a un diner y comieron y platicaron. Y luego se la llevó a ver el sunset. And hanging out and everything after dinner, he started kind of making out with her y todo. Y ella le dijo que no quería tener relaciones con él. And she has a right to say that.
Yeah.
And anywho. Él le dijo, well, I'm not taking that no to an answer. Get your ass in the back of the seat. And he proceeds to rape her. After he raped her, he drove to the desert area once again. That's really far.
The same place?
The same area. And he busts out, the gun. She's really scared, obviously. It was getting a little bit dark. At this point, he's like, I don't want to take pictures quite yet. So la hizo que se esperara hasta que iba a salir el sol para matarla.
Wait, it was getting dark?
Yeah, it was getting, it was too dark for him to see.
Oh, okay.
Para que, entonces él dijo, ¿sabes qué? I'm not going to take the pictures yet.
Era la madrugada.
Era la madrugada. I'm going to wait hasta que salga el sol. Para
You
matarla.
wanted the right lighting.
Yeah. Para matarla y tomarle fotos. So le hizo lo mismo, tomó las fotos. Then he did the same thing about killing her with the rope. And after that, there's records of him saying that he actually said that he was going to kill her for his own safety because he didn't want to go back to jail.
Well, if you don't want to go back to jail, don't be fucking doing illegal shit, bitch.
The fuck? Who gives a fuck about your safety, pendejo? After that, he takes her pictures of her body when she's dead. Le quita la ropa igualmente, and he buries her. A ella sí he buried her because he said he had a hard time trying to kill her because he really
liked her.
No, because she wasn't a pinup doll. She was different.
She was a regular girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guess what he did? Say it was su underwear.
De
ella. Y dijo que se sentía mal, que le iba a dejar nada más tirada, so he buried her under a cactus. Porque he needed to put something there. Estúpido. Now, Shirley's family starts freaking out. unfortunately, he gave him the wrong name, gave him a bad name, the same thing, address, phone number, whatever.
His contact info wasn't accurate.
So they go to the cops and they just, I think that at one point, one of the detectives was covering Shirley's case and covering Judy's case, the Judy Dull. Y le dijo, ¿sabes qué? Kind of that resembles, like como que quiso agarrar la onda, pero no agarró la onda. Y once again, the case goes cold. At this time, we're about July. And they started to develop pictures of the girls, because of the women and of the young women.
Who's they?
The cops. They started developing pictures of what he might have looked like and that kind of thing. Based on what the family said. Because the family, como te digo, like, le valió verga. Like, the people was there, lo miraron.
Yeah.
Like, he gave no fuck. And he had no money, nothing. He was taken care of by his mom. Mind you, his mom is a woman, so your mom is taking care of your ass, but you're doing this to women.
Even though his mom is in Colorado?
Ya le mandaba dinero y ella lo cuidaba y ella le daba todo. Which I don't know. It's because once again, we go back to the same thing. Why are moms like that? Like,
pero ella no sabe lo que él anda haciendo. So.
No, claro que sabe. O sea, no estamos pendejas. O sea, no, yo digo, like, she knows what he was doing when he was there when he was home. Like, she knew that something was not okay. He had been in jail for doing that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, the LAPD did not do their job at all. They kind of just, once again, let it go again, saying, oh, they probably ran away. We have other matters to be more concerned with. And they let it go cold. And his urges are getting a little bit stronger. So en un momento, he's not waiting that long anymore. He sees a picture of an ad for a model, and her name was Angela Rojas. And she was available immediately because she was available for pictures. So he called the number. He found out that her name was not Angela Rojas. Her name was Ruth Mercado, but that was her stage name. Because she was not only was she a 24-year-old woman, she was a badass because she was in the Women's Air Force during the Korean War, and she was honorably discharged. Cool. And not only that, after that, she decided to go to Hollywood because she wanted to become a star. That's when she came up with the new name, and she was modeling and working at a strip club because no le fue muy bien. So he told Ruth that his name was Frank and that he was working for a magazine. Otra vez lo mismo.
Pero él no sabía that was her real name, Ruth.
No, sí, ella le dijo
when they met up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ella le dijo, y él le dijo que se llamaba Frank, lo mismo. ¿Sabes qué? I'm from a magazine. I'm going to make you famous. Te voy a pagar sa, sa, sa. And he visited her, but when he got there, she tells him, you know what? I'm not feeling well. I don't know if it was porque lo miró and he looked creepy.
Yeah.
Or was it because lo miró and she didn't feel good about it? Pero le dijo, I don't feel well. Le dijo, you know what? Give me your information. I'll call you whenever I'm ready. Y él se enojó. And there's there's reports of him saying that he was ready because he had his gun and he was going to pull it out because he's saying she doesn't want to see. She's lying, basically.
Yeah. So he didn't buy that she...
Yeah, that she did not feel well.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he leaves. He's like, fine. And one day he just shows unannounced to her house. He's like, hey there.
I hope you're ready now.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, como surprised. But she was like, yeah, come on in. I'm ready for the pictures, whatever. And then she's like, I can imagine her like letting him in. And le dice, let me grab my dog and put him up. Porque the dog was going crazy because of
the stranger in the house.
Yeah. Which he should have. Y entonces agarra el perro y se lo lleva al restroom. When he's in the restroom, when she's putting him in the restroom, when she comes back, he's already with the gun in his hand. Y le dice, you know, do what I say or I'm gonna kill you. He ties her up, gags her, and he states they went back into the living room. He went to lock all the doors because he wanted to make sure he wasn't interrupted. And he wanted to make sure que nadie entraba. This was probably the most brutal one of all. He continues to rape her for about 4 to 5 times. And he says that he didn't want to kill her.
He liked her?
He liked her. But he'd had to because he was going to tell on her.
Isn't that what he said about Shirley too?
Yeah, he said the same thing. And then he tells Ruth that he's going to take her for a picnic.
Huh?
Yeah. He's like, we're going out for a picnic after I mean, this one was torturous. Like, he did this for a long time to her. Y la tenía amarrada. Some places say que sí les pegaba, pero in other places say que no. So I don't know if he did or not. He then drove to the desert once again. They spent the entire day there at the desert. Like, la tuvo desde like la mañana hasta la noche. At this point, they're guessing que they had spent together for about 48 hours.
Since her apartment.
He takes pictures of her again. He actually rapes her multiple more times. And then he kills her the same way he killed the rest of the women. He says that he tried to bury her.
Tried.
After that, he stole her watch, a few coins that she had, a few dollars that she had in her purse, like nothing big. He did the same thing. He tries driving, aventa la purse.
Out the window.
The landlord was the one that noticed that Ruth was gone because todo el mail started piling up in su casa. So she wrote to her mom, to the mom de Ruth, y le dijo que something was wrong, and her mom was the one that contacted the police. And the same thing happened. They tried to follow up with it. Nothing happened of it. They were saying that she had went back home, and no one cared. So basically, there was other matters again, LAPD. And 2 months passed before they even showed her on the lookout bulletin board to look out for her.
Why?
I don't know. The LAPD was just doing whatever the fuck they wanted.
What years were these?
Everything was actually, this was, if you think about it, this started around the 50s. At this point, look, let me tell you. So ella, let's see, it was 1957. Whenever, let me see, 1946 was when he was in New York. Then he moves to California, and then he goes to jail. In 1957, that's when his first kill was.
Okay.
So the first kill was 1957, and then between that and to the next kill, maybe a year. A year, maybe. So maybe 58, 59 por ahí.
Okay.
And then after that, so yeah, around 58, 59, they say that this was the one that was the most traumatic, but I think they were all traumatic.
Yeah,
I don't think that there was one that was
worse
more
than
than the other. Yeah. So at this point, we're going to leave it here.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about when he gets caught and everything else on our next episode. So this will have to turn into a part 2. I think I thought that I was going to be able to finish it, but it's a lot of information, and I really don't want to leave anything out because this was my first serial killer. I'd never done a serial killer. So going into this, it got me. Like, it was a lot because it was like, oh my God, this girl, what she went through. And I mean, this was probably one of the harder ones that I've had to do. And we've done a lot. But, one of them just sticks with you. And I just feel like he's a fucking piece of trash. And I'm glad that he's dead.
Yeah.
Forever.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he dies. Eventually we know he's going to die.
Yeah.
Because it was so long ago. But he was just so fucking creepy, bro.
More than creepy.
He was a fucking dick. And,
more than a dick.
And I just feel like, I don't know, LAPD should have done a better job of at least trying. But they didn't. And if it wasn't for what happens after, then we would have never found out who did all of this.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So in between this, when he does go back to Colorado, I just wanted to mention this before. I hope I don't forget. They do think that he did have something to do with the Jane Doe that was found in Colorado. They say that it could be 3 to 4 murders, but they don't know. But one of the Jane Does that they found, they think they were trying to attribute to him, but he never confessed to it. It was in Boulder, Colorado. She was called Boulder Jane Doe.
Okay.
So they think that he did do one more, but they're not sure if it was him or not.
Yeah.
So there was part 1 of the case of Mr. Harvey. Should we even call him Mr.? No. La Cucaracha Harvey Glatman.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us. Let us know what you think. Follow us on Instagram at
Cafecito and Crime Pod. You can also download our episodes, leave us a review, rate us, and yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your support. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.